What do black people want, man? I'm just saying, you know, we talked about Obama, and Obama didn't do enough for black people. Trump is doing all these pandering. What do black people want?
I don't think we really know what we want.
That's what. So what do we want? That's what I'm saying. Like black people always say we want this. He ain't doing enough or whatever, which a lot of times they aren't. Believe that. But what do we want? What do we want?
We want to make a lot of money and we want some jobs.
Yeah.
So, but how do you're right. Like, what do we want? Ed, what do you think we want?
So here's what I think we all can agree on we want. Because the truth of the matter is, unlike back in the day where segregation affected all of us, right? Whether you were rich or poor, segregation hit you. I think we need a singular issue that affects all of us, and I think that's policing in this country. I mean, I think that's the one thing, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whether you live in Mississippi or whether you live in Beverly Hills, when you drive right down the street, I can throw a hoodie on and they don't care what I'm driving. Right? I think we need a singular issue to look at, because the truth of the matter is, economically, you know, if you're a brother that makes or a sister that makes six figures that works at a Fortune 500 company, you don't have the same issues as a brother that lives on Crenshaw or the east side of Detroit or, you know, in Miami. So at some point, we've got to find that one issue to kind of press the flesh. And this is with white and black leadership. You know, because I don't think, quite frankly, black leadership has done enough.
Not at all.
Correct.
Not at all. I mean, when you talk about the black vote, like, so Biden still gets a large majority of the black vote. And I think a lot of that has to do because of he was President Obama's vice president. Bernie Sanders getting about 20% right now because he did so well in 2016. And then it's a drop-off because even Cory Booker didn't do well. Kamala Harris didn't do well when it came to the black vote. So it's not just about that. And I agree with you when it comes to that type of stuff. But I'm going to hit you with something right now. Well, you know where I'm about to go, right? So everybody knows Mayor Pete is gay. And let's be honest, can we be real? Are we doing barbershop talk right here? This is real. Yeah. Straight up talk. Do you think black people, I'm talking about your uncle and your auntie, will get behind a gay president, a gay candidate? Honestly.
Probably. Here's the thing. Probably not, man. But it depends on what type of gay dude he is.
What's that mean?
Yeah, because you got the gay dudes who walk down the street, you don't even know. And you get a guy hit the corner and he's sashaying, you know he's gay.
Okay. Right. So why should it matter though?
It shouldn't. You asking me about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some of your boys,
my folks.
Got you.
Because some dudes don't even want to be associated with a gay dude, whether it's a dude in your class, a dude at work, maybe your partner that you got to work side by side with at work, and he's not messing with you, he ain't flirting with you, he's just gay. And some people have a problem with that. So even though he can't get on you, but I don't even want to be sitting next to the dude. That's not how I feel, but I'm saying that's how a lot of folks, especially the OGs, that feel that way. You know, and it shouldn't matter. They might not, if they don't know, they might vote for him. They find out, they might, let me get my vote up out of there. And
that happened in Iowa. It wasn't with a black person, but you saw it as an Iowa. In Iowa caucus, there was a woman who voted for Mayor Pete, and then somebody said somebody's husband, and she said he's gay. Wow. And she's like, well, I want my vote back. Yikes. She wasn't going to vote. Out of his policies and everything he stood for was fine. But then she found out he was gay. She wanted her vote back. This is 2020. Yeah. And we're still dealing with that type of ignorance, Dave.
Yeah. I think black people can get behind gay people. You know what I mean? If he's doing something for our community, I think black people will get behind him. I don't feel black people are that.
OGs probably won't, but I think as a community, because it's a lot of gay folks in the black community now.
I don't think black people we that shallow. No. If you're doing something for us, I think we would get behind you no matter what. You know what I mean? First of all, you got to get in the community and go in the community and talk to us and let us know what you're really going to do and be real. You know what I'm saying? So if you be real with us, I don't care if you're gay, lesbian, or what. We'll get behind you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know?
That is real talk. Now, I'm not saying that all black people are like that, a majority of black people, but we also know that
that's
they're
the inference, right? That black people won't get behind a gay president. But I agree with you. You know, we certainly have gotten behind gay entertainers. You know, sure, there are, particularly on a religious side, there's some kind of cross-cultural things that black folks have had problems with, and there's clearly some homophobia in the church, even though, you know, I don't know many choirs that don't have
choir director,
right? So, I mean, the truth of the matter is, though, that's changing. And I think, to your point, if Pete Buttigieg says, I'm for X, Y, and Z, black people at the end of the day won't much care who he goes home to. They'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm down with that.
Right.
What you think, David? What's your opinion on that, buddy?
I think it's kind of a complicated subject. I mean, it's hard to kind of paint a broad brush and say all the black community is going to do this, that, or the other. You know, we are very complex. We got very varying degrees of conservatism and liberalism from a social standpoint within the black community. And so I think it depends on which areas you're talking about. Because to Ed's point, I mean, we do have in general, a deep Christian root, and it's sometimes opposed with, gay lifestyle and stuff. But, it all depends on that person, where they're coming from, and also too, like their family life and who's around them and stuff like that. I think a lot of times, and this goes for anybody of difference. It's like, they're different until I have a friend that is something.
Or
they're different until I have a family member that is something.
It changes the game.
And it changes it, and it socializes it. So I think it's a complicated subject. I think it's difficult to see where it's going to go.
It's generational. Yeah. I mean, clearly, younger people do not have the same issue with homosexuality as older folks. And, we tend to say, well, old black folk, well, old white folk wasn't jumping on board either.
That's right.
So, I think we're to a point where you've got one more generation that's still living that really has that hang up. And then after that, there's still homophobia out there, but not in the same numbers that we saw.
Yeah, definitely don't want to discriminate, because it ain't just black people. It's all races that always want to tout the good Christian values, but then they'll support somebody who
like
was Trump. Who's talked about doing all that type of stuff and some of the morals that the moral fiber that he doesn't have and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes to Mayor Pete out there. But we never thought we'd see a black president.
I didn't.
Yeah, me either.
Before 2008, never thought we'd see a black president.
Wow, yeah.
And I really hope one day, we will see a gay president. I hope we'll see a woman president. Because whoever the best leader is who should be in charge of our country.
True.
And we can all get behind anybody like that.
But my thing, why is gay have to matter? Because what was that? What's Bernie? What's the senator?
Bernie Sanders?
No, it's another senator.
Bernie Frank.
Bernie Frank. Nobody knew he was gay for a long time. You know what I mean? So I don't think gay should even matter, man.
It shouldn't matter, but it does.
But did people know Bernie Frank was gay until he came out, Ed?
Well, I don't know if they knew before he came out, but certainly, there have been whispers of any number of people, including Lindsey Graham, and they questions about his sexuality. But at the end of the day, it's what you become used to. Right? So, I mean, I had experience growing up in Detroit where, Detroit is a very hard city.
I know your town.
When I grew up in the 60s, you a gay dude, you was not running, right? That was just not it. And then you started to meet cats, and you're like, well, that dude ain't so bad.
Exactly.
And it really is about exposure.
Yeah.
Right.
And much of what we believe is banked in ignorance. And until you kind of open the aperture and really see the difference versus what you have heard or what you think, I think that's going to be the difference. And so the more someone like Buttigieg is out there and you start to see, you know what, I don't really care what he does at home. This cat's smart, he's got a good plan, he's got, same thing with women. How many decades did we go when women were thought to be the lesser sex? And they didn't have the mental capability of running anything. Well, I mean, they ran America forever. Right? They ran your household.
They still do.
And of course, black women been running this country since we came over here, pretty much. They are the backbone of our country. They're the backbone of our families, whatnot. And we have to respect our black women as queens, even if you feel like they've made a mistake. So everybody's been beating down Gayle King, obviously. So, and we talked about it on the show on Friday about how some of the criticism to me, even if you feel like she made a mistake, it's unwarranted to call her out of her name. And also to threaten her. Now, Snoop came out and tried to clarify and said that he wasn't threatening her, but he did call her out of her name. There have been other celebrities come out, like Bill Cosby tweeted from, how do you tweet from jail?
He got
Twitter.
Everybody got phones.
He's probably the man out there. Going to get me one of those phones. Yeah, he probably got, you know what I'm saying, workers in there, everything.
But I thought he was blind. How he see? I'm like,
he ain't blind.
Yeah, he got Braille on the phone. I don't understand. So Bill Cosby's tweet, and then, you know, O.J. Simpson. I mean, like, it ain't the best people to be on.
Mind your business.
Well, they got an opinion. They got an opinion too.
I know they got an opinion, man, but it's like, now, so you actually, and O.J. has been through a lot. You know, I understand that. He put a lot of people through a lot of things. You actually you were the first person to interview O.J. After his acquittal, right? I mean, so you know what it's like to be in that position to have to ask those kind of questions. Now, a totally different type of interview, obviously.
So I think that was the issue, and I should be transparent. I did reach out to Gail that day, and I have texted with her because I thought, man, you're taking some incoming fire here. Whether you believe that was right or wrong, if we are the family we say we are, that was not the right approach to check her.
Thank you.
Right?
Not the right approach to check her.
I appreciate that Snoop came out and clarified some things, but he did say, we'll come get you. Now he's trying to back away from that. He did say that. Now, that being said, you know, everybody's kind of stepping away from it now, but the day it happened, everybody was talking about it.
That's right.
I mean, women and men, many of them were calling me, she's wrong. I was like, dude, let's bring it down just a little bit. I don't believe, and this is just personal, that the kind of interview that she was doing with Lisa Leslie was the right time to ask that question.
Right.
Lisa wasn't there that night. She wasn't involved. I understood what Gail was trying to do. She was saying that I was trying to get someone who really knew Kobe to talk about his character, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes a translation isn't what you hoped. But even if it were just a mistake and she was wrong for that, I don't believe in her heart she was trying to rip a black man down. And I don't believe she should have taken that kind of fire. And I was appreciative of the people who said, let's slowly roll. Michael Eric Dyson came out very quickly and said, look, you don't need to call this sister out of her name and that. And I think that that's important because too many people who are outside of our family call us all out of our names. No matter what happened there, we don't need to do that. So I'm happy to see that back up a little bit. We can still check one another. But it doesn't have to be like that.
But that's what I was talking about, man. That cycle. Remember that first night? I was like, it becomes a vicious cycle. You check him, somebody checks you back, and then all of a sudden we're tearing one another apart.
Right.
Same thing with Gail, same thing we did with Jay-Z, the whole situation. We're all trying to do it together. We're gonna make mistakes.
But then Susan Rice what's her name?
Susan Rice.
Susan Rice come and put some fuel on the fire. And you know, that was like, we'll come get you, our army. What army you talking about?
But she said, what? I don't think she's talking.
Yeah, she was talking. Let me tell you something. First of all, to me, she's all mixed up. You know what I mean? Me personally. Okay. You know what I mean? You know, she down with Obama. Her son goes to Stanford. He represents Trump. Like, you all
that's
mixed
her
up.
son.
I understand that, but you all mixed up to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like when somebody said, you're going to come after one of my people. Like, I'm down with Snoop. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, we're going to come after you too. It's a new day and time. We're not accepting that. You're not going to talk about we're going to come after you. Okay. We're not the Uncle Toms. We're not going to sit around here and pay like we're coons. We're not going to do that. It's a whole new type of generation we have right now. And you're not going to say, you're going to come after me. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come back to you like F you.
But at some point, you and both. But at some point, you're saying that one can do it and the other can't. It was all wrong.
Yes.
It was wrong for Snoop to say, "We'll come get you," and it was wrong.
No, I know that was wrong. That was wrong.
I'm saying, it can't be. You can't have 6 on one hand, half a dozen on another. The issue, quite frankly, is we all bad on social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
It's too much being said on social media.
Right.
All of this crap and all this. We all need to just take a breath sometimes, put that phone down, don't tweet so much. Maybe we'll all do a little better. Again, there are ways of checking people. Snoop could have absolutely called and said to her, because Snoop could have gotten to her, hey, sister, that's not the way to do this, right? And so I think we all need to kind of think about how we're handling our business up front, because it makes all of us look bad at the end of it.
But that's the whole point.
Black on black crime.
It's a cycle. It is, once again, Snoop saying he's going to pull up, Susan Rice responding to that, and then other people responding to Susan Rice. And then we got to stop all the name calling, too. I mean, look, everybody's not a coon just because you don't go with the
No, they've been out there cooning.
No,
you know what I mean? To me, they've been out there cooning because at the end of the day, talk about white people just like you talk about black people. If we're gonna talk about our black people like that, y'all get on there and y'all interview Harvey Weinstein, all these pedophiles, all these people. Do what they're gonna do too. Just don't down our people. Just don't be all.
She interviewed. She didn't want to interview Harvey Weinstein.
She interviewed his lawyer. She did.
But at the end of the day, it's like I said, it wasn't the right time. You know what I mean? Like
that's
sometimes,
different.
But I'm just saying they do it all the time, man. You did it with the Michael Jackson, Oprah. You did it with Russell Simmons. You know what I mean? When you're doing it with Kobe and he's dead in the ground, like some people are off limits. Michael Jackson was off limits.
You're right.
Y'all got to stop that. You know what I'm saying? To me, they got to stop that, Ed. I respect you to the fullest. So when I'm here to learn from you, but at the end of the day,
I don't know that anybody is off limits. I don't know that anybody is off limits, right? But I do agree with you that it's got to be even-handed.
That's right. That's
if
what I'm
you're
saying.
going to go over here, you got to come over here.
That's right. Yep.